Today, we're going to break down a huge shakeup in the Indian internet space, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. If you've ever stopped and wondered, wait, who has my data and what are they even doing with it? Well, this one's for you. Okay, let's just dive right in with a question. How many times just today have you gotten a random spam call for a pre-approved loan you never asked for? And be honest, when's the last time you downloaded an app and just blindly ticked that little I agree box and kind of just hoped for the best? Yeah, we've all been there. For years, it's felt like our digital data was just up for grabs by pretty much anyone and everyone. Well, that's finally starting to change, and believe me, it is a very big deal. So what makes this new act such a game changer? Well, to really get it, you have to remember how things were. For the longest time, our data was just out there, and we had almost zero say in the matter. Look, this is not just another piece of legislation. It's probably the biggest shakeup in how data is handled in India ever. Whether you're a student, a startup founder, or you're just sick of your personal information floating around, this affects you directly. So how does this new law actually work? To understand it, we need to meet the two main players in this new digital world. And don't worry, we're going to strip away all the boring legal jargon. The Act simplifies everything down to two key roles. First, there's the data principal. That's you. That's me. It's the person whose data we're talking about. Then there's the data fiduciary. That's the entity, the company, the bank, the food delivery app that's collecting and using your data. Okay, so what power does this law actually give you? The data principal. This is where it gets really interesting. You're no longer just a passive user whose data is taken and used without you having any say. You now have three core superpowers, if you will. First, the right to information. You can literally go to an app and ask, hey, what data do you have on me and who have you shared it with? And they have to tell you. Second, the right to correction and erasure. If your details are wrong, you can get them fixed. Even better, if you're done with a service, you can tell them to delete your data completely. And third, the right to grievance redressal. If a company just ignores you, oh, they are in big trouble. And what happens if they don't listen? Well, you can take your complaint to the Data Protection Board of India. This is the official body, the referee that's going to hold these companies accountable. Now, let's flip the script for a second. If you run a business or you work in tech, data protection in India is no longer optional. With new rules for 2025 being rolled out as we speak, the clock is officially ticking for everyone to get compliant. At the heart of all these new rules for businesses is one simple, powerful idea. Consent is king. Yep. Gone are the days of hiding permission requests in 10 pages of dense legal text that absolutely nobody reads. Businesses now have three core obligations. One, they have to get your clear consent in plain language, and that includes English and 22 Indian languages. Two, purpose limitation. This one is key. If you give a pizza place your phone number to deliver a pizza, they can't then turn around and start using that number to sell you insurance. That's a huge violation. And three, data security. They must have real safeguards like encryption and report any data breaches right away. And if they don't comply? The penalties are massive. We're talking about fines of up to 250 crore rupees for failing to protect user data. So yeah, this law absolutely has teeth. So we've covered your rights and their responsibilities. But what does the future actually look like under this new digital framework? Let's take a quick look at what's coming down the pipeline. So, this rollout is happening in phases. The act is passed, and now specific rules are being put into action. The biggest data handlers, think major social media platforms, large banks, what the law calls significant data fiduciaries, they're going to face even stricter rules, like needing a data protection officer right here in India. And beyond that, we're seeing the rise of this really cool idea called consent managers. Imagine a single dashboard where you can see every single app that has your data and just revoke access with one click. That's where this is all heading. When you boil it all down, the entire DPDP Act is designed to build one critical thing in our digital economy, and that's trust. When you trust that your data is safe and being used responsibly, you're just more likely to engage, to innovate, and to participate. So, what's the biggest takeaway here? It's this. The next time an app asks for your permission for access to your life, just remember you are in the driver's seat now. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. The law has finally given us the tools and the rights we need. But now that it has teeth, are we as users, as citizens, truly in control of our digital destiny?
That's the big question we're all going to be answering together.